This is Future Robin, Editing Robin, coming in at the start just to let you know that there's a really weird noise, and I'm not sure what it is. The fan wasn't running or anything, but it definitely sounds like that for whatever reason. But there's a really annoying noise. It does stop about like the 1 minute mark, but for some reason, start of this video, there's a stupid noise. Hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be on Revival, the 9th studio album from American rapper, Detroit legend, Slim Shady, Double Bunny, or whatever he calls himself, Eminem. But first, as I said, I posted a video earlier on my phone and I still am really tired, but I really enjoy filming and I want to do a review of this album because I filmed an unboxing yesterday, but the video was just really not up to par at all. I was really bad yesterday, and it just, I was rubbing my eyes, I was slurring my speech. It was like I was absolutely smashed on alcohol, but I wasn't. I'm sober. I'm fully sober. Don't get me started on alcohol. But anyway, but yeah, that's enough about me. Let's just get into this album, shall we? So as for the looks of this album, I really like it. I love the sort of woven cloth of the American flag with Eminem's side, expression. And again on the back, obviously, good on him. He is buff as fuck. I respect the guns, like my guns. These guns of steel. Look at these. Don't mess with me. No, I'm not. Anyway. And it has a really nice gatefold. Something I've always loved about Eminem, I've always loved that his albums are really, sometimes you buy an album and it's just the record in the sleeve and that's it, there's nothing to it. But Eminem's vinyl records are really fleshed out. They almost always have a really nice gatefold or a lyric sheet that comes with it that's really nicely printed and things. It's extra little things like that which makes it worthwhile picking up. And this gatefold is definitely one of them. So, before acid reflux kills me, let's talk So this video might be a bit quicker or a bit shorter than previous reviews because a few of the songs on this album I love. The others are terrible. Honestly, this is Eminem's worst album. Just his worst. It's not like if someone put a gun to my head and asked me, listen to this album or die, I would listen to it. I wouldn't turn it off. But it's not. A lot of the songs sound like demos, or they sound something about the mix isn't right. And I'm not a huge rap fan. I mean, Eminem and Tyler the Creator are the only two rap artists I listen to. So, if I can pick out that it doesn't sound right, then it's really bad because I ain't got a clue. When it comes to rap music and beats and production of rap music, I ain't got to, I'm more of a classic rock, all different kinds of rock fan, So when it comes to that, if I can tell that it's not right, then that means it's really not right. Anyway, let's get into it. So it starts with the lead single off the album, Walk on Water, featuring Beyonce, which, Beyonce is not really my thing. That's just because I don't really listen to R&B or pop music. But you cannot deny how beautiful of a singing voice she has. Beyonce's vocals are just stunning. And I've realised the image quality isn't the best, and I'm not sure why. I don't know, I'm sorry. Just listen to me ramble. But obviously Beyonce's hook on the song is amazing. She's beautiful. Eminem's lyrics, I really like them. A sort of a retrospective look on where he is in his career, because he's not as big as he used to be, which happens to all artists, It's the hardest thing about being a successful artist is staying at the top. Once you reach your peak, the hardest thing is staying at that peak and, obviously with the Marshall Mathers LP2, he had peaked. Although oh, brain, sorry. Anyway, let's continue. And that goes on to Believe, which, Chloroseptic, feet press, but I can't even say that. Chloroseptic is not that great. Untouchable, I kind of like. I do actually like that song. River, featuring Ed Sheeran, I don't like it at all. It's a really melodramatic pop tune, and Eminem can do melodramatic really well. You know, take Beautiful or I'm Not Afraid. But with this song, it's just not together, and I think Ed Sheeran is the most overrated singer of all time. The man can sing, and he's got some alright songs, but he's so overrated. Some people are Ed Sheeran till they die, and I just don't get it. Now, if you love Ed Sheeran, I'm not bashing you. You know, you do you. Music is fluid. But for me personally, Ed Sheeran is incredibly overrated. And the song's not that great. Remind Me, intro. Remind Me, the song is not that great either. Revival, interlude. Like Home, featuring Alicia Keys, is alright. It's not the best. Bad Husband, featuring the Ambassadors, where Eminem raps about how, you know, how can I be a bad husband to my wife, but I'm a good father to my kids. And I sort of understand, you know, you can be good at one thing and not the other. And I love the Ex-Ambassadors hook on it. You know, I've never actually heard of Ex-Ambassadors before, but great singing voice. Tragic Endings, featuring Skylar Grey. Skylar Grey and Eminem released a song with Dr. Dre called I Need a Doctor way back in the day. I think it was like 2010, 2011, and I love that song, and I think that was the first song that they've done together. And subsequently they've done, like, almost every Eminem album since has had a Skylar Grey feature on it. And I'm not bashing them, but I swear every one of those songs sounds the same. And on this album, it's not for me, I'm afraid. Framed, I actually really like Framed. That's pardon me, I'm dying. That's a good song. Nowhere Fast, featuring Kalani, is alright. Heat, Offended. Need Me, featuring Pink. That's weird, that song, because Pink takes up most of the track, and obviously I'm not 100% sure how features work, but it should really be a Pink song featuring Eminem at that point. In Your Head, Castle, and A Rose, the three closing tracks, they're not that great. Yeah. So overall, this album has what's it called? Double album syndrome, where it's over an hour long, this album, and it doesn't keep me entertained enough. You know, I will stick it on from time to time if I want to listen to something different and I'm in the mood for Eminem, but it is obviously being over an hour long. It can just, sometimes you just give up. You know, it happens where I don't want to listen to this anymore. I'm not interested. Other albums are like, to be honest, I think it's the only one with that problem I have. With a double album, you have to swap side over 4 times, and I'm lazy, so if I'm not really enjoying the music, I won't do that. I'll just give up. But otherwise, it's a lot of the beats, they sound off, or they don't sound right. A lot of there's a Joan Jett, what's it called? Sample, that's the word. There's a Joan Jett sample and a Cranberries sample in this album that don't sound, again, they just don't, the production on this album is not very good at all. And obviously Dr. Dre produced all his albums, and it is legendary. The same as Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin has worked with Johnny Cash, he's worked with thousands of different artists. But together, for some reason, the production on this album is just not that good at all. But yeah, let's get into the conclusion. Doing those transitions has really helped me film, because before, where I was trying to force the whole video out in one, you know, if I had my acid reflux problem, it just fucked the whole video up. But now with these transitions, I can film the bit and then stop filming and just, clear my throat or make sure I'm okay before I go on. Anyway, this album, enough about me. So in conclusion, this is Eminem's worst album. It's not terrible, I wouldn't turn it off, but there are thousands of different albums that I'd rather listen to. This gets a 4 out of 10, which is officially my lowest rating I've ever given on the channel. It's just not up to par. Now, you may be saying, Robin, if you don't like it that much, why did you buy it on vinyl? I bought this on eBay for about £13, about $14, which is about half price for what you'd usually pay for a big double album. So I saved myself a lot of money. I call it the Umaguma principle. I bought that because it's the only Eminem album I didn't have on vinyl. I've pre-ordered Eminem's new album, Music to Be Murdered By, on vinyl, which is coming next week, so stay tuned for that video. But if you take Umaguma from Pink Floyd, Umaguma is the third studio album. I know it's a tangent. Hear me out. Umaguma is the third studio album by Pink Floyd, released in 1969, and across the board it is terrible. I've listened to it once since I bought it. And I only bought it because I needed it for my Pink Floyd collection. It was the only Pink Floyd album I didn't have, and I wanted the full collection. Which is the same with this album, I bought it because it was the only Eminem album I didn't have. And now I have a complete Eminem collection, which I'll do a video sometime in the future and show you all of them. But yeah, overall, it's not that good. Make sure you subscribe down below. This video is sponsored by the subscribe button. Hit that button for the next review. I'll probably do Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP too. Oh god, I'm dying. I'm a repulsive human being. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time, where hopefully I'm half awake and not half asleep. Take care, everyone.